Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is BobLyn and welcome back to another video. This is a commentary and we're going to be watching probably one of my best games in Harugumo. It's a ship I have not featured yet on this channel, yet it is one of my favorite ships in the whole game. It's my second most played and I'm approaching 500 battles in it. And now for me 500 battles is a lot since I play a lot of different ships. I haven't even reached 800 or 700 on some of my ships. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys probably my favorite destroyer. It's the one that's closest to my heart, and it's one of the destroyers in the game that's the hardest to play if you ask me. This one and Khabarov's can be pretty difficult to play in this meta. Nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed this video, and the build will be after the gameplay. Alright, so here we are, and this is a full player game, and honestly it's, from my knowledge and my memory, it's my highest damage on camera at least. And as you can see, it's a quite interesting team. There's some Italian cruisers and there's some German BBs. That's, German BBs are always great. And what your biggest target really is in Harugumo is a pushing battleship. Ideally a Japanese, a French, or a German one. American can be quite difficult because they are hard to light on fire, and the same with the Soviets. Now, the strategy with Harugumo is to avoid, encounters with cruisers or open encounters with any battleships of the kind because you are very, very big. Harugumo is just as long as the Smolensk guys, but obviously it's a destroyer, so you don't have the citadel that a Smolensk or something else has. A cruiser does, So that is a saving grace, but it's at the same time, you turn like a bus, man. Look at how long this thing is turning. We do have preheating on right now, but it is also not the fastest destroyer in the world. So you have to really be careful what you do, and this is honestly the biggest thing with Harugumo. You have to position perfectly in this thing. Fighting destroyers is not the worst thing in the world. The only problem with fighting destroyers, especially in the early game, is you will lose a lot of HP because Harugumo has 100mm guns. And you get 10 guns basically, 5 turrets that have 2 barrels in each. So that's 10 guns that reload in, as you can see, just under 3 seconds with the reload mod. I have 4 smokes. Normally Harugumo has 3 smokes, and you use those to farm BBs, as you can see here. Now we do have a Montana, but we pop his DCP instantly, and you see the torpedoes are amazing. They are 610mm torpedoes in a 6 I don't know how to say that, a 6-tuple launcher? I don't know. It has 6 torpedoes in that launcher, and then you get a torpedo reload booster. Now, I have Gunichi Mikawa, and look at these Montanas. Like, what the heck's going on, guys? This is the Montana syndrome, I swear. It exists on EU as well. It's not just NA. But you want to farm the living crap out of any BB that tries to do any sort of pushing, because that is where you shine the most. Where the Harugumo doesn't shine is where it has to push in and scout and potentially put itself in the line of danger. And the thing it hates the most, guys, as we watch these Montanas just get absolutely ripped apart by 1,000 cuts, like Mr. Sly 47 says. It is pretty much what it is. I mean, it's 100mm guns, and look how little damage he takes every time. But it's consistent damage, and I don't know. I fell in love with this when I watched a PC montage from the Sailing Robin, and he's the guy I really like watching. And that's why I decided Harugumo was going to be my first DD. I don't know why. It's probably the worst DD to start out with, but at the same time, I kind of thank Harugumo's unforgiving playstyle and relentless targeting from people, because it is easy to destroy this thing, very easy, and you can very easily get shot out of position. We could have been looking at the other Montana and been looking at the other direction and not seen this guy shooting at us. This Montana right here we're targeting now, but luckily we dodged it. So you need to have extreme situational awareness, and I might as well announce this now. I'm gonna be starting inspired by DFA, my friend, and he's done an amazing cruiser guide, and you probably have seen it, all you cruiser players out there. I want to do kind of my own. There's a lot of different aspects to cruiser playstyle, and a lot of those you have to adapt into playing Harugumo. I will also put Harugumo in my Cruisers of Blitz series, like we did Elbing, and watch this Montana. Get chunked. That's payback. Now we have the other Montana on the left side here, or port side, should I say. Yeah, and he's pushing into our base along with another guy in my base. I mean, there's something happening in this game. Look at the right side of the flank. There's a complete party going on over there, and we have somebody capping their base. I mean, it's a complete mess of a game, and I have 112k already. There's still 5 ships left. So we just keep farming this guy's smoke up, and that's pretty much what you want to do. The only reason I am getting this amount of damage is because of these enemies. And my teammates being so far away, I pretty much got this whole flank to myself. So this is a lucky game, nonetheless. Playing Harugumo, as you saw with my stats, I've been trying to get him up. It's difficult. And when you face a CV, you will most likely get targeted. You have to just face that. It's just a matter of fact. When a CV sees a Harugumo, it's an instant kill. It's not an instant, but it's an easy kill, especially for Hakuryu. Even Malta has a pretty easy time taking out Harugumo, man. It's hard to dodge Malta torpedoes in this thing. Like, I swear to God. That is your biggest kryptonite. That is CVs, and that's why I find this to be one of the harder DDs to play, along with Kaba. Kaba can maybe be argued to be even more difficult, since you don't have the torpedo range, nor the smokes. I mean, you have 3 smokes at least on Harugumo for default. With this commander I'm running, I have Night Raid, which gives an extra torpedo reload, an extra engine boost, and an extra smoke. So you can see that is, I mean, that's insane for this ship. It perfectly fits him. But we are fighting here this Shimakaze, and they are taking our base. Now I'm hoping my team will eventually take their base, since it's currently neutral. And I mean, I am alone here against a Grosso Kurfürst and a Shimakaze, who is torping us right now, and you can see how much effort I have to put into dodging these gosh darn torpedoes. Sorry, it's not a Grosso Kurfürst, it's another Montana. There was a Grosso Kurfürst though, but here we go. We keep farming the other Montana. Smoke up, and this is our last smoke, and we are at 146. Sorry, that's the end goal. 139k damage. I mean, I was so cracked out of my mind when I was playing. I can remember this. I've been holding off on this gameplay for like 2 or 3 months, guys. Ideally, it was going to be in my Cruisers of Blitz episode, but there's so many ships that are coming in front of this that I just want to play Harugumo and get another gameplay instead. So there we go. That is pretty much the end of the game, and I hope you got some tips and tricks on how to play this. If you do find yourself in a CV game, what I tend to do is I stick close to my team. I just don't push out. I play this like a squishy cruiser that just does not deal with planes, because you don't have AA. Harugumo, fun fact, actually in Blitz used to have defensive fire instead of smoke. And yeah, I prefer the smoke. So one other tip I have: don't be afraid to use a smoke when there's a CV coming for you, especially if it's a Haku or if you're low. I use smokes to avoid that. I mean, come on, I don't want to get struck. And if you see let's say it's midway bombers on the way, they haven't spotted you yet, smoke up. Maybe he won't be able to hit you. They can still hit you, but it's highly unlikely when you're in your smoke. So anyways, that was a crazy game. I really hope you enjoyed, and let's move on to the build. Alright, so you guys see the camo here, and of course we're running the historical. And for the elite bonus, I would actually say take advanced engine, since you don't rely too much on your torpedoes. Like I said, it was my first DD. I just haven't put in the gold to change it. But I would definitely take the better acceleration. For the equipment, we are running the legendary mod reload and detection. Now the legendary mod is really good for the maneuverability, and bro, it really helps. Definitely versus CVs and dodging. And of course you gotta have detection in. For the commander, like I said, I'm using Gunichi Mikawa, like you see in the thumbnail as well. He's a pretty good commander for the ship. Well, not even pretty good. He's pretty game changing. He makes this thing a lot easier to play, since you get an extra smoke, and that extra smoke is life-saving. Now you could opt between Daredevil if you have a normal commander and the healing skill. I would probably take the healing skill if it was me. I take Daredevil plus especially here, but Again, it is Harugumo, guys, so maybe Daredevil is a good idea even if it's a normal commander. I'm not too sure. Now, I went with IFHE because you rely mostly on the HE with the ships, so yeah, if you take APCS because you believe it's better, fine with me. I think in this situation, since it's 100mm guns, it really doesn't make a difference. But that has been it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed this, as this is a very special ship for me, and it's not a ship that I get high damage gameplays in often, simply because it's a difficult ship and you get targeted. Now, my name has been BobLyn, aka PabLoon, and I'm signing out.